Hey, what's up everybody, this is Muth24, and today I'm going to take a look at the Deadpool vs. the Marvel Universe trade-back collection. This is a comic book that I picked up quite a while back, and just kind of forgot to get around to reviewing it. It's very much a self-contained storyline, kind of like the Captain America Hail Hydra, which I reviewed before. Obviously it's all about Deadpool, so it's going to be a lot wackier and more comedic. But one thing I should point out is that while some Deadpool comics, at least the more well-known ones, or the ones that really capture the character a lot of times, are with the parental advisory rating on the back. And this one, if you'll notice, is actually rated T+. So it still has some of the darker elements of Deadpool, some of the violence is still there, but the blood and gore is pretty much entirely absent from this. So if you are looking for a Deadpool story that's, more extreme in the way that Wade Wilson is presented and the assignments he takes on, you're definitely not going to find that here. But I do think that even though this is aimed at a broader audience than the, proper core Deadpool stuff, that it does a good job of capturing the essence of who he is as a character and sort of his just bizarre adventures and all that. As the title implies, he does encounter a bunch of different characters across the Marvel Universe and does some time traveling and kind of warping to different locations. A lot of the characters are pretty familiar ones, ones that people will immediately recognize. Other ones are characters that I wasn't quite as familiar with. They might be tied more closely to the Deadpool stuff, and to be frank, I haven't read a lot of Deadpool, so that might just be me kind of being out of the loop there a little bit with who the core characters are that team up with Deadpool from time to time, aside from the X-Men, obviously. But taking a look at the inside here, you have obviously more traditional, sort of classic look of Deadpool versus Wolverine there. Then we have some of the more exaggerated cover art there. And like I mentioned, he has run-ins with a bunch of other well-known Marvel characters. Cable, Wolverine, Cyclops. He has a sort of partner in crime here, Bob of Hydra. And the weird thing about this is that a lot of times Deadpool is the one who's kind of the out of the loop, sort of the unwitting hero of the story. And in this one, he's actually a lot more knowledgeable about what's going on than Bob is. And that sort of makes for an entertaining scenario with, Bob following Deadpool, even though he's very much aware that Deadpool's not exactly the safest guy to follow around into all these battles and these crazy misadventures that they go on. We do see him go back in time to World War II and fight alongside Captain America and Bucky. We see him meet up with Black Panther and the Fantastic Four and a few of the X-Men. We also see them enter some of the mystic realms that Doctor Strange is more familiar with. And later on, they meet up with Brother Voodoo, who I'm not all that familiar with. This is one of those characters where they kind of threw me off a bit. Not that I didn't enjoy this part of the story, I don't know that much about Brother Voodoo. They do go to the Savage Land. And again, this is just sort of like a romp through a bunch of different iconic places in the Marvel Universe and different time periods and all that. And then things kind of end with them reuniting with Deadpool's sort of current team of mercenaries and running into a bunch of the other main Marvel superheroes and fighting off these dinosaurs that have been taken over by symbiotes. So it's a little bit of a dangerous combo there, kind of wreaks havoc on New York City for a bit. And it's all good fun. It's not a terribly lengthy encounter there at the end, but it is entertaining nonetheless. And then at the back here we have some of the alternate cover art. So for me, this wasn't like a mind-blowing Deadpool read by any means. Not that any of them are, I don't think. It's entertaining enough. I think that it stays focused on a more simple premise than something like the Captain America Hail Hydra story for being a standalone narrative. And to that end, I think it handles it better. That said, it's not anything, incredibly compelling of a read. You're reading this for fun. You're reading it to see Deadpool run into all these other heroes and have, silly dialogue and all that. But like I mentioned before, it does sort of tone down Deadpool's antics a little bit, and his mouth is not quite as foul in this version. The violence is toned down quite a bit as well. So I feel like this is sort of a easy way for younger readers, not really young readers, but a little bit younger teenage group to get into the Deadpool stuff without them, having to encounter all the gore and the violence and the foul language and all that. But that said, I think it does sort of draw away from the general Deadpool experience, or at least what you expect out of Deadpool. Not that I didn't enjoy this, but at the same time, I kind of prefer when it's either super wacky, nonsensical Deadpool or hyper-violent psychopath Deadpool. Those are the two Deadpool story types that I've encountered by and large in the little bit that I have read of him. And here it's kind of like Deadpool's the one who knows what's going on. He's the man with the plan, and Bob is just kind of, trucking along and seeing what the heck is going to happen next. So, like I said, it's entertaining. It's not anything superb by any means, but if you're looking for a quick and easy read, that'll definitely get your fix. And if you're looking for something a little bit more tame than the main Deadpool stuff, it'll definitely help there. So that's pretty much it for this review, and with that, I will see you guys next time.